Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to unpack a massive, tectonic shift that is happening right now in the automotive industry. We're looking closely at exactly how consumer demand is being captured, managed, and completely predicted using artificial intelligence. You know, the old playbook of how people find cars and how dealerships sell them, it's literally being rewritten in real time. So, if you want to understand the future of commerce and demand generation, well, you are in exactly the right place. Right off the bat, industry insiders are rallying around a really bold new reality. They're saying if you're not showing up in AI, you're already invisible. I mean, wow. That statement perfectly captures the incredibly high stakes of what insiders are now calling generative engine optimization. We have moved way, way past the era of simply having a decent website. Today, the actual battleground for capturing consumer demand is happening right inside AI chatbots and large language models. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the end of SEO. Second, the rise of GO. Third, building dealership AI tools. Fourth, predicting market demand cycles. And finally, fifth, auditing your demand spend.
Let's start with Section 1, the end of SEO.
So the old digital playbook is becoming obsolete way faster than anyone predicted. For years, literally every business on Earth was completely obsessed with SEO. Search engine optimization, right? The goal was simple. Get your little blue link as high up on the search results page as humanly possible. But traditional SEO just provided links for the user to sift through on their own. Today, we're shifting to GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. In this new landscape, AI models aren't just giving you a list of websites to go read. They are actively predicting what consumers want and making highly specific, synthesized recommendations. The AI does all the heavy lifting, giving the consumer a final answer instead of, a list of homework assignments.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the rise of GEO. Consumers are heavily utilizing these large language models, things like Gemini and Claude, to find vehicles, and it's completely rewiring the demand funnel. To understand how this works in practice, let's look at a real-world experiment from Mike Yates, the general manager over at BMW Bridgewater. He actually went onto the AI platform Grok and typed in this exact hyper-specific prompt. Who is the best BMW dealer in central New Jersey? He basically wanted to see if and exactly how his own dealership would surface in this brand new AI-driven search world. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Grok's output. It was fascinating. It didn't just spit out a generic link to the dealership's homepage. Instead, Grok provided a picture of the dealership. It assumed the buyer's intent and actually recommended a specific X3 model vehicle. And incredibly, it provided the actual names of two current preferred salespeople for the customer to ask for at the door. It pulled those right from DealerRater. So the AI just completely bypassed the traditional website funnel entirely and connected the consumer directly to specific inventory and staff. But here's the tricky part about Geo. Not all AI models think the same way. Models like Google's Gemini, they rely very heavily on Google Business Profile ratings, specifically looking at the volume and the velocity of a dealership's reviews. On the other hand, Grok dug into third-party sites like DealerRater to find those specific salespeople we just talked about, and it heavily weighs forums like Reddit. So what does this mean? It means businesses can no longer rely on optimizing just one single search channel. You literally have to maintain a pristine, positive reputation across the entire web, because you just never know where the AI is scraping its answers from. Let's move on to Section 3, building dealership AI tools. So that's how AI captures external demand. But what about internal operations? The industry average wait time for a customer calling a service department is a staggering 9 minutes. Think about that. When staff is short, customer demand just falls right into a voicemail black hole. But by plugging an AI voice agent, in this case one called Numa, directly into the dealership management system dashboard, wait times plummeted to under 3 minutes. The AI recognizes the caller's number, it knows they already have a car in the shop, and it can even text them a link to schedule an appointment if a human advisor is busy. It captures that demand immediately. It's a real game changer. But it actually gets even more creative than that. Dealerships aren't just buying AI off the shelf, they're actively building it themselves. Take Ali 2.0, for example. Mike Yates' team noticed their service technicians were constantly wasting time trying to track down their super busy warranty administrator, whose name is Ali, just to ask complex coverage questions. So what did they do? They built their very own custom GPT to instantly answer technician questions without having to wait. Now, you might be thinking you need a computer science degree to build something like that, but look at how surprisingly simple this is.
Step 1, they took the massive 187-page manufacturer warranty manual and just uploaded it straight to OpenAI. Step 2, they set strict guardrails, telling the AI it has no access to the outside internet and that this specific document is its absolute source of truth. Step 3, they published the custom GPT and shared the link with their staff. And just like that, a major operational bottleneck was completely solved in-house.
Okay, section 4, predicting market demand cycles.
We're moving even deeper into the iceberg now, exploring how AI actually mathematically predicts future market cycles. One of the biggest headaches for a dealership is deciding exactly when to pull a vehicle out of the service loaner fleet and put it onto the used car lot to sell. Traditionally, total guessing game. But now, operators are using custom workflow tools like N8N to ingest real-time data via FTP feeds. The AI is constantly analyzing this massive table of variables you see here: the current status of the loaner fleet, the seasonality of the vehicle model, what new car inventory is arriving soon, and the current market day supply and pricing.
And this brilliantly illustrates the leap from the old way of doing business to the new. Instead of relying on rigid, honestly kind of arbitrary rules, like always selling a car after 30 or 60 days, the AI calculates the unique holding cost and margin opportunity for every single vehicle. It might realize a specific M3 has $10,000 in margin going into the spring season and recommend holding it longer. Or it might flag a car whose holding costs are eating away profits and suggest a price drop right now. It is dynamic, real-time, and incredibly profitable decision-making.
Wrapping up with Section 5, auditing your demand spend. So AI is amazing, absolutely. But you still have to pay for digital marketing to drive that top-of-funnel demand. Which brings us to a crucial point. You cannot blindly trust a vendor's reporting. Tim Turner from BuyWriter shared a wild story about vendors claiming they were getting highly targeted Google Performance Max leads for $1.50 each. But when you look under the hood, you really have to separate true sales leads, like a customer actually clicking "Get Me Financed," from junk conversions, which agencies often use to pad their stats, like someone just clicking to find the store's hours or directions. To combat this, Tim outlined a highly structured, actionable demand audit that every single operator out there should follow. First, physically own your Google Ads accounts. Never let an agency hold the keys to your data. Second, hire an independent digital auditor to review your spend. Not to win your business, just to check the math. Third, mystery shop 20 of your own leads to check the speed and quality of your team's response. And finally, track the actual lead journey all the way through to a CRM sale. Stop paying for vanity traffic and start paying for actual verifiable sales,
Tim also noted something really fascinating. Different business models face totally different AI queries. While someone might ask AI for the best luxury dealer, a subprime customer is much more likely asking the AI, how does buy here, pay here work? Am I going to get screwed? So to make sure your business shows up properly in these specific AI searches, you need a targeted strategy. You essentially have to drown out the bad noise by flooding the web with highly original, positive customer content. Getting customers to post photos and specifically mention your dealership's name in their reviews, that trains the AI to associate your business with positive, trustworthy outcomes. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Look at the businesses thriving right now. They aren't just sitting back and waiting for the future to happen to them. They're out there building custom tools, auditing their digital footprints, and actively training AI models to surface their specific inventory and people. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In your own business, are you simply consuming AI, or are you actively creating it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to dive into the next topic with you soon.